but I love the passion that you guys get behind a bank holiday. See, this is why we make such a good couple, because you bring the digestives and a cup of brew.
A cup of brew. Jim. Boom.
Boom. Episode 2.
We're back.
Here we are.
The first one was very well received, can I just say?
Yeah, hot start. Makes me feel like this is going to be a train wreck.
Why? What, this episode?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you know when like you get too much confidence.
Okay.
You know, you've never played ping pong before.
Right.
And you hit one and you blast it by somebody and you go,
yeah,
got this.
Like when we played double this morning.
Yeah.
And I said, I smoke you every time on double.
Yep. And you won the first game and you are quote unquote the GOAT of double, and then you lost the next couple. Badly, if I may say so myself.
All right, I don't want to relive that. So, yes, it was very well received. Thanks to everyone that listened, commented, and whatever. That was really great. I loved that. So we decided for this episode, we're going to kind of give it a theme.
Yeah.
And give it like an umbrella topic.
Yeah, we're going to have a theme.
Because I think that's what people like. Well, we'll just see, because who knows where this is going to go. Like, this is literally our second episode. We're just kind of figuring it all out, aren't we?
We're just shooting the shit, and hopefully people like listening to us shoot the shit.
Exactly. So I thought a good topic for this episode would be America versus England.
Yes. Like our home.
Like our home.
Yeah.
Because I am English and you are American.
Yeah, have been all my life.
And you know what? I never actually realized how different that must seem to some people until I was watching the footage and stuff back. And obviously there's a lot of audio, and I was going through it and I was, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, we actually do sound so different.
What, like our accents?
Yeah, is that
of course.
But like, because we live together, I never see that. Like, I never see you as having
We're
an
just
accent.
used to each other.
Yeah.
But if someone from the outside, they're going to go,
Like with my mum, I never think my mum's got an accent, but you said that my mum's got like the craziest accent ever.
I don't know about the craziest accent
Okay.
ever. No. I said she has a unique accent.
Yeah, it's like...
Sorry, Beth.
It's like Filipino with a Manchester twang.
Right. Bloody,
yes. Yeah. I can't think of any others.
Well, my accent's changed as well since, living here 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. I say all these English phrases and people think I'm Irish. People think... Someone said I was Scouse the other day.
Scouse?
Yes.
Someone said you were Scottish at brunch.
Yeah, but someone who was dealing with a Scouse real estate agent.
Yeah.
Like, picture the most stereotypical Scouse accent you could in your
like
mind.
Abby Clancy.
Who's that?
From the Crouch Therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So picture if Abby was give me a bit of Abby. What would she be saying?
And like me and Peter we completely met. It was totally random. I don't know if that was good.
And then I get on the phone with the client talking like this.
Yeah.
And they say, "Are you from Liverpool?"
Oh.
I said, "What?" Are you from Liverpool? I said, no, I'm American.
England versus America. That sounds like we're going to go into battle.
We did.
Oh my God.
1776.
Can I just say something? In schools and that, we don't learn about England versus America.
That's insane. We spend years on it.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah. No, we literally... Okay, I don't know if we did and I just wasn't listening, but I'm pretty sure we didn't.
I don't think you did, because we had a 4th of July cookout.
Oh, yes, we did.
We had a 4th of July cookout in England last year.
Hang on, a cookout for English people is a barbecue.
Right.
But you call barbecue a type... When we say like, oh, I've got to have a barbecue, you would say barbecue is a kind of food.
Right.
Like Italian,
yeah, of
Chinese.
course. Barbecue
is like...
smoked meats with some sauce, tangy, sweet sauce.
So we had a cookout / barbecue.
Had a cookout.
Yeah.
Did some American trivia.
Yeah.
With your English friends. And the one that really got me was we asked about 15 people were there. We asked, what country did America win its independence from? Why do we celebrate the 4th of July?
And when that question was asked, I looked around at everyone and there was a lot of whispering. There was a bit of confidence. I remember confidence. Oh, I know who it is. Write this down, write that down. I just did think, are they going to get this? And then when it was time to go through the answers, hands went up and it was Russia, China, France.
Yeah. No one said England.
Not one. No one knew.
It's strange.
Okay, right. So we definitely don't learn it in school. I wonder why that is.
Because you lost.
But where you're from in America is New England, right?
Right.
So all your cities are like named after places in England, which is really weird.
Yeah.
So there's
I'm
like...
from Essex County.
Yeah, there's like Manchester by the Sea.
Cambridge, Chelmsford, Billerica.
Sheffield?
Sheffield.
Shut up, there's a Sheffield.
Of course there is.
Oh my God. Why, you know
Ipswich,
when we're in
Portsmouth.
America, we should do like a tour. Is that fun, actually? No, maybe not. I don't know if that's fun.
No, what we need to do is
Let's go and see them all.
we need to do a tour of the ones that America has just massively improved on. Like if there's some town that's just an absolute shithole in England, but
Right.
then it's beautiful
Right.
in America.
Oh, like Moss Side by the Sea. Does that exist? Okay, so, and I think what people find interesting, or like when we're ever together, we're socializing and stuff, is like how when you was growing up and I was growing up, it's just so different. Like even stuff like when you're getting, like when we look at old pictures from like when you were in school, you have like the cutest pictures in school. It's like you can choose the background. Sometimes you're in
Like school photos.
sometimes you're in like a forest or you're in like a basketball
Well,
arena.
school photos usually you'd
Yeah.
pick like gray, blue, or purple, kind of like uplit like this.
Who chooses?
But-
You choose.
Yeah, you
As
choose.
a child, you choose.
Well, it depends on how strict your parents are. Because there was one that was lasers.
Stop.
Yeah.
What do you mean there was lasers?
The background was like red and blue laser, but like 90s graphics lasers.
Hang on
and
a minute.
every year I wanted the lasers. I was never allowed to get the lasers.
This is what I'm saying. When do you choose?
You fill out a form.
Oh, so you don't go in there and go, oh, I like to choose the lasers.
No, your parents fill out a form and then you go in and you hand it to the photographer.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, okay, get in this line.
Ah.
And I was in the, soft blue background line.
Was anyone in the laser line?
Of course.
The kids with
Legends.
like, yeah. The
Yeah.
kids that have like, those Wellington boots, like the kid on Big Daddy. yeah.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein had a laser background school
Yeah.
photo. 100%.
100%.
Like if you play football, do you play against other towns and have like rivalries? Like you'd call it what, a derby. We had, the school down the way that would get a bit vicious.
Yeah, no, I don't think our school cared at all. We would maybe not like certain schools for just some stupid reason, but then that was it. We were definitely not proud.
That still lives on to this day, doesn't it?
Yeah, people have like proper issues with my school because my school was St. Gabriel's, and then right next to my school, it was on like a path. So you go down the road, and it was like a dead end. Did you call it a dead end in America?
Yeah.
The end. Road stops.
We call America a dead end.
So you go down, and then at my school were there, but on the road was a grammar school. So it was girls' grammar school and a boys' grammar school, Berry Grammar. Oh, there was a bit of malice when I said that.
Yeah.
I am. But anyway, Berry Grammar and Gabs and my school just really hated each other.
Yeah, we've got that as well. But
Yeah.
it's because you
Because of
play them in
sports.
sport, always because of sports.
But
Just the
I
way
tell
it
you
is.
something though, Berry Grammar netball team were so good. Oh my God, they were like athletes. When we played them, I have never felt like such a hillbilly in my life. And they had because it's a grammar school, they have like sick. I remember they had beautiful netball uniforms. I feel like it was a netball like dress. Ours was like a skirt, and I think you just get the skirt when you go, so it doesn't really fit. Bibs that, you know what a bib is? Do you call it a bib? A bib that like the Velcro's all tatted. Theirs was like, I just remember when we played them, I was like, they were like Lamborghinis and we were like Kia Picantos.
Yeah,
That's what
there's,
it felt
there's
like.
nothing worse than when the other team shows up looking pro.
Yeah.
Like
and the
our-
way they throw the ball, like young teenage girls can launch a netball because they're small. They're not like basketballs. They fit like in your hands. And I remember just watching them like, and they were like doing all these drills. I was like, shit. They used to beat us a insane amount. Like the points would go up in ones and we'd lose like 24-2. So I did put this question out on my Insta story, by the way. Tell me something that's uniquely British, Nick.
I already know British like sarcasm and kind of dry humor is elite. So I know that most of the answers are going to be like puns or jokes or hopefully. No.
Nick Cross has given like 7 and they're all just stupid. But the first one, something that's uniquely British, is binge drinking.
Yeah, I think England, if the sun's out, everyone's in a beer garden.
Yeah, but if we're having like a function or something, if it's like it's a barbecue, if it's a cookout, if it's literally like a christening, if it's someone's birthday, if it's like everyone is getting together, alcohol is involved.
Oh yeah, heavily.
But where you're from, it's not.
No.
It's like not even a thing. It's like maybe people bring
Like weddings.
a few beers. Nick also said something that's uniquely British, that we call ourselves Great Britain.
Good. Just going back to the binge drinking though, it's a bit weird, but I love the passion that you guys get behind a bank holiday. Like there's a public holiday.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like, oh, let's go up into the mountains. We got a long weekend. It's you guys, it's like, how drunk can we get on a Sunday?
I'm going to tell you why that is. You ready?
Yeah.
What mountains are we going to go to?
Lake District.
Jim. Get lost. If there was a ever...
Or go down to what? Go down to the railway and get 20 pints in.
That's exactly what you would do. So don't act like you're all Mr. Nature, just like humming to the birds and like stroking horses. That's exactly what you would do. Something else that is uniquely British. Corey said British chocolate is better than the American stuff.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it is.
That's a fact. Cadbury's Dairy Milk.
Why is that? Milk? Is it something to do with the milk?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like something like 50 years ago, 100 years ago when they were coming up with like the regulations. In England, they said you could use unpasteurized milk because it's going to get processed and cooked anyways. But in America, they said you have to use pasteurized milk. So something about the milk is better in England. And then I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that American chocolate is more bitter. And it got to the point where they can do it and make it better. But because people are so used to it, that's what they like. So if you change it to make it better, commercially, it actually makes it worse. So they add stuff to make it more bitter.
Because that's what they
I don't know if that's true.
But Americans, maybe some of them don't know what they're missing out on. Maybe if like Hershey's did like a campaign and it was like, try, like, you know, just slowly.
No.
Does no one care?
Americans don't like change. They tried that with Coca-Cola in like the 90s and there was riots.
What do you mean?
It was called New Coke and it was like a different flavor. They were like, oh, we're going to rebrand. And people lost their minds.
Really?
Yeah. Like it was a big issue and they had to dial it back. And that's why it's called Coca-Cola Classic.
What about this? Something that's uniquely British is White Lightning. Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh my God, I've actually not heard that word in ages. So basically, when you're younger in England, when you get to like, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, maybe not 18, but when you're just almost at that age where you can get drunk, that's all you want because you're like, we're a couple of years off, like, let's get ready. And then obviously you're only young, so your goal is just to get drunk as quick as possible, right? So yeah, White Lightning, Frosty Jacks, Lambrini.
What is it? Just like the cheapest you can get?
Yeah, I wouldn't love, but I would love to just try that again and see what it tastes like. And there's this stuff called Glen's vodka that was dirt cheap. Like we thought it was cheap back then, so it must literally be pennies. It's just like what could get you drunk the quickest.
Yeah, we had Rubinoff, which was it was in a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
Vodka. Glass means class.
Oh yeah, God, Lambrini, White Lightning and Frosty Jacks was in a plastic bottle that you couldn't even see inside.
In a plastic bottle you couldn't see inside.
Yeah,
like a black plastic,
like grey.
That sounds awful.
I think the Frosty Jacks one was like blue. So it's just like, what is in this?
That sounds horrendous.
Oh yeah, it's like what homeless people drink. Yeah, like crackheads.
You know what though? Bringing up, you said teenagers in the UK. They scare me.
Yeah, they're scary.
They're terrifying.
They ask. I feel like me and my friends were those scary teenagers.
Were you?
I don't actually know how scary we were, but we were just loud, not friendly.
But like all teenagers are scary, but UK teenagers, it's another level. I just feel like their entire life, there's no consequence. Or they act like there's no consequence.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
Like, I'm going to do what I want, where I want, when I want. What are you going to do about it?
This sounds like there's pain behind your, like this story.
No, nothing's happened because I've avoided them.
Right.
But I just, literally, I see teenagers if I'm in the UK and I think like, are they going to try to fuck with me?
Really?
Yeah, of course.
What about
because it would be funny. Like bullying or just messing around with people or pranking somebody or...
Were you bullied when you were little?
Not really.
Oh, not really. It's not a hard no, is it?
I wouldn't say I was. No.
Is it a safe space?
No, I don't think I was.
Did it happen when you were a teenager? Because that would make a lot of sense.
No.
Jim?
Yeah. Fine. Perfectly fine.
Cup of tea and biscuits. That's
cookies and milk.
Cookies and... Which is basically the same thing as a cup of tea.
What do you think's better though?
It depends what biscuit we're talking.
Yeah. I think see, this is why we make such a good couple, because you bring the digestives and a cup of brew, and
A cup of brew,
what do you call it? A cuppa?
cup of tea,
Yeah, or a brew.
or a brew.
You can't do a cup of brew.
Jim,
I'm just trying.
6 years in, have I not taught you anything?
No.
I get what you mean, because are you thinking it's like cup of?
Yes, because people say, anyone want a cuppa?
Yeah, cuppa.
Right, which is short for cup of tea.
Cup of tea. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Or you would say, do you want a cup of tea?
Or do you want a brew?
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. But you wouldn't say cup of brew. But do.
I just did.
Do.
I just did, yeah.
Do that. Just do that more often.
You know what I think one of the biggest differences, England and US, right? England it's big. Obviously, globally, it's really well known. It's, if you talked about like entertainment, America and England is probably 1, 2 because it's English speaking, all this kind of thing. But I found it fascinating that in America, it's so big that you've got so many different regions. Like, we don't care that much about what they care about in the South, like NASCAR or something like that, compared to up in the Northeast. We might have our own thing. But I feel like in England, that you can just be like, this is an English thing.
Right, yeah.
From what you guys, when anyone on the outside says like, oh, that's so American, I'm like, yeah, but none of my friends did that. None of my family does that. It's not that. But if I said that's so English, you'd be like, yes, me and everyone I know does it.
Yeah, that's purely because of size, isn't it? Like how big England is and how big America is. But yeah, that kind of stresses me out sometimes when people have like a perception on America. They're like, oh, I don't like America because of X, Y, and Z, and it's just like this out there, and the crime is like this, and the the politics, it can be like this or that. I'm like, yeah, but it's so big.
Yeah, it's like just live in a different area.
There's literally 50 states?
Yeah.
There's literally 50 states, and every single state will be different.
Yeah.
Like every single state will literally have different laws, literally have different weathers, literally have like it's so different. But only you can't obviously portray all 50 states in one. Like
no, absolutely not.
People don't have the time. People don't care.
No.
People don't care what it's like in Florida compared to what it's like in Maine, or people don't care what it's like in like all these different parts of America. So yeah, it is tough.
But when I was in England, it's like you all watch maybe the same news, the same kind of entertainers, because like England is the size of a region of America.
Yeah.
So we would have even different, like people on the radio.
Yeah.
Radio 1 is like all of England. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Charlie
true.
Sloth.
Yeah.
But like we had Maddie in the Morning, but that would only be 3 or 4 states.
Yeah.
And then Chicago would have someone else and Florida would have someone else. So
Right.
even just what the culture, what you're talking about, what you care about, what's going on the weekend, it could be totally different no matter where you are. So I've always found it interesting living abroad when people generalize what Americans are like.
Yeah. God, do you not get like a bit defensive?
No,
Would it
I
not
don't
be
care.
annoying?
No.
Yeah. It would just be such a long process if you had to constantly defend America.
Yeah.
And you obviously don't care about America that much because you don't live there anymore.
Yeah, I still love it though.
Aw.
There's a lot of good
What
things.
do you miss most about it?
I miss being involved in the sports. It's so hard to follow while I'm out here. With the time difference, like NFL kicks off at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
I do love that about America, about how passionate you lot are about sports. But I tell you what, England does sport-wise better than America is their songs.
It's embarrassing going back.
English football chants are really, really good.
They're elite.
Really, really, really good. Really creative.
It really, really hurts. Like it's when it's the only thing you know your whole life. This is why it's important to travel. When it's the only thing you know your whole life, you're like, yeah, let's go Red Sox. But when you do that for 3 hours.
So that's the Red Sox one. And what's the Bruins one? The hockey one?
Let's go Bruins.
And the Patriots, which is the American football. What's that one?
Well, it was Tom Brady. So let's go Pats. Let's go Pats.
And then that's it.
Yeah, for hours. Good. So I did see a comedian in the US though that he said he thinks the only reason that in England, why they come up with such good football chances because they need to entertain themselves while nothing's going on in the game.
But then again, baseball's so boring. Not much happens in baseball.
Depends on the game you go to. I think the games you went to, not a lot happened.
Because I always think that like when people go on vacation to like say New York or like if they're in Boston or whatever, and they go LA, they go see the Dodgers, they go see these sports matches. When I see them at the baseball matches, I'm like, did you enjoy it though?
Baseball's got to be the toughest one if you don't know what's going on. It's got to be. Like basketball is entertaining. You put the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
Hockey, you know,
100%
did the puck go in the net?
100% baseball would be trickier because unless it's a home run, no one knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But sport is good. Sport's good in America. I enjoy that element of it.
You know, the biggest difference though that I've had arguments with a million English people and I still don't know who's right. I think it's just you're used to your system, we're used to ours, right? In the Premier League, whoever
Do you mean the Premier League?
the Premier
Premier League.
in the Prem.
In the Prem.
Whoever wins like the most games during the season wins the title. And that's it. So it can be if you have like a really good season, it could be decided with like 3-4 games left and then who cares? But we have like the playoffs and we have a tournament at the end. So you had the best season. Okay, cool. But now let's have a tournament like the World Cup. Let's have a tournament to see who actually is the best. And there's nothing more exciting than the playoff tournament.
I wonder why they don't do that.
They've got the other leagues. They've got like the FA Cup and the Champions League. And so like if you won that league, then you go on to another. So they have cups.
Right.
But that's the interesting thing. I'm like, you understand how exciting a tournament is. So why, you know, when you have an argument with any English football fan, they'll completely shut it down.
Sounds like you've been having that chat a lot.
A lot. But there's nothing more exciting than American sports playoffs.
There probably is.
Yeah.
So next week, we are hopefully going to be speaking to Joy France, who is the granny. I don't know if she's a granny. Who is the, what do you call it?
She's a gangster rapper.
She's a gangster geriatric rapper. Is geriatric a diss?
I don't think so.
She's an old lady that raps, basically. She's pushing 60. She's 60 plus.
Okay.
And basically, I saw her on Good Morning Britain rapping with another guy with a smoke machine, which is unheard of on Good Morning Britain.
Yeah.
And I just thought I need her in my life. So we've been speaking, and hopefully next week we're going to have her on.
Are you going to battle her?
I did say I'm going to battle her.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm excited for your bars.
Oh, God, I'm nervous. No, I think I can pull some stuff out. Anyway, we've got to wrap this up.
All right.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
That was fun.